for USA Today Sports asks him about all these other quarterbacks getting paid more money, right? Now, all of a sudden, like, where does he rank on the list of the highest paid quarterbacks at this point?
He's only making $45 million a year, which at the time was record breaking, but now
I don't know how people live on that. I have no idea how he's managing.
I'll pull up the whole list now.
But he's like low, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, in terms of average annual value, his $45 million salary ranks tied for 11th with Kirk Cousins, notable average quarterback.
Right. So that's my point, right? So we all understand. Patrick Mahomes is overwhelmingly the best player. There's no one who doesn't think so. There's not one person who's ever seen a football game. People who only watched football last year because they like Taylor Swift all know Patrick Mahomes is the best player.
Yeah.
And yet he's the 11th highest paid. And so he said about all these other guys getting paid, quote, "It's awesome for the game of football. It's awesome for the quarterback position, but I think all positions. I know every time a contract comes up, everyone looks at my APY, my average per year, and everything like that. I'm doing pretty well myself. For me, it's just about going out there trying to win football games, trying to make money for my family at the end of the day. I feel like I'm doing a great job of that. I feel like we do a great job." Let me just stop. Here's the point I'm trying to make. Why is Tom Brady the GOAT? Tom Brady is the GOAT because he recognized two things. He recognized that he was in a position that being an all-time great quarterback puts you in the very unique position to be able to make a fortune of money for the rest of your life. Most people, 99% of the people playing professional football, have to maximize every penny they get paid during their career because it is every penny they're ever going to make because of football. Tom Brady will be making tens of millions of dollars a year every single year for the rest of his life because of his football career. So will Patrick Mahomes. So will many, many, many of these guys. And yet these guys fight for every penny. Instead, you leave some on the table, and that's how you wind up not losing Chris Jones. And that's how you wind up keeping other important players. And that's how Tom Brady, everyone said Tom Brady, well, he's married to Giselle. That didn't have anything to do with it. Her money didn't have anything to do with it. You can live on $45 million a year, plus all the commercials, plus everything that he's making, plus he's going to have a fortune. He doesn't have the ego of needing to be the highest paid guy, and as a result, he continues to win, and they can continue to be flexible around him. Mahomes is going to be the next Brady if he isn't already, because he's got that part of it down, and that might be the most important part.
It's an enormous, very consequential part of team building. So when I'm looking at Tom Brady's New England career, at least, just isolating his time in New England, he never ranked in the top 10 in cap hit. Top 10 in any of his 6 Super Bowl winning seasons. Of every dollar that he earned in New England, 48 cents of it, nearly half, came from his signing bonuses. They figured this out 20 years ago, and yet teams and quarterbacks and their agents are still playing this game. A lot of it is agent-driven because they want to have the client with the biggest contract, and that's what they do. But what Patrick Mahomes has gotten right is far more than just being the best player on the field. It's exactly right, and the Brady parallel is the perfect one.
Like, what is the value? And I mean monetary value. I'm not just talking about emotional, psychological, etc. value. What is the actual monetary value of being the quarterback on multiple Super Bowl winning teams? It has to be enormous.
Tens of millions of dollars. Enormous.
Joe Namath is still an icon because he won a Super Bowl in January of 1969. I do events with Joe all the time. People treat him like a god because he won a Super Bowl 55 years ago. So you win a Super Bowl, or God help us, you win more than one, you're set for life. You're a made man. It doesn't make any difference. Why are we arguing over, give me an extra $5 million this year? Get me 2 linebackers so we can win. That's what I would be doing.
But a lot of the onus should also be on the owner. I just articulated the fact that the Dallas Cowboys don't spend much money in cash up front. It goes hand in hand. What you need is an organization with an owner who's willing to spend that money, and ideally, at least, you have a great quarterback who's willing to work with that front office. These things should be relationships. They should not be adversarial. And I don't think the relationship between Dak and Jerry Jones is adversarial, but you would definitely say that they're not always seeing eye to eye on team building matters, and that's why they're in this position.
What you're saying is that instead of adversarial, which I'll agree with you, maybe it's not, they also aren't partners.
They're not partners.
They're not partnering on this. And however you want to look at it, Brady partnered with Robert Kraft.
And that's the objective. In the end, that's the objective. You're both aiming for the same thing.
Yeah.
And both of you are never going to have to work another day in your lives if you don't want to, nor are any of your descendants. So the more quarterbacks that can be willing to do those kinds of things, have the relationship and the partnership with the front office, the more likely you are to have a chance at high-level winning. It's pretty simple.
I mean, this is why I'm telling you, you're in trouble if you root for any other team. Because Mahomes gets it. He's just he realizes
he's making Tua money.
He's making Tua money, but he's going to be making it for the rest of his life.
And he's 5 times the quarterback he is.
Yeah.